Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Whitney Van Laningham, and the new Shazam 2 trailer just dropped. This trailer has a vastly different tone than the first one that came out a few months ago. Where the last trailer was fun, jokey, and blasting with Eminem music from 2002, this new one is much darker and more ominous. Watching this current version of the trailer made me feel like I should expect an entirely different movie than the one that was advertised in the first trailer. So today, I'm taking you frame by frame to cover all the details you might have missed. We open in the realm of the gods at what I believe could be Mount Olympus, or at least the DCEU's version of it. Next, we see Lucy Lou's Kalypso wreaking havoc on Citizen Bank Park, home of the Philadelphia Phillies. After stepping down from the back of her dragon, she plunges a golden apple into the earth, causing gigantic roots to bust out. Not only do we see these roots destroy the stadium seats and parking lot, they continue to extend along the Benjamin Franklin Bridge, rapidly growing into the city. When this intersection gets wrecked, peep the street signs. We've got Spring Garden Street and Hedgerow Lane. Those are real streets in Philadelphia, but I also think that they may have been chosen for this scene as a nod to Helen Mirren's Hespera's mythology. Like I mentioned in my last video on this character is based on the Hesperides, the three nymphs of dawn and dusk tasked with protecting the golden apple tree in Hera's garden. Another story from Greek mythology, the Judgment of Paris, tells the story of Eris, the goddess of discord, who decided to cause drama at the wedding of Peleus and Thetis. She threw a golden apple inscribed with "To the fairest one" into the party. Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite fought over which of them was the prettiest, the results of which led to the start of the Trojan War. Likewise, Kalypso is using her golden apple to sow discord in Philly. Outside of Sam Castle's stakes, Helen Mirren, a 77-year-old woman, absolutely kicks Shazam's ass. Although the trailer prefaces this scene with "we will annihilate everything" and finishes it with a kick to the chest, the former trailer featured Billy's Fast and the Furious joke here, making the scene appear a lot more lighthearted. This version makes it clear that Hespera and Kalypso are not here to F around and talk about Dominic Toretto. They're at war with the Shazamily because they believe that the kids stole the power from the gods, and they have the repaired staff, which kind of makes them unstoppable. Next, we see what I like to call the Shazam manual, glowing with lightning. Billy gives us a quick recap from the last movie. A wizard gave him powers, and then his friends got powers, and now they're a team. Albeit, a team that has recently started to move in separate directions. This clip is actually from the first Shazam, when Billy jumps off the roof of his biological mother's apartment building and activates his powers. But despite seemingly drifting apart, the Shazamily comes together for this battle on the Ben Franklin Bridge. As they arrive, Drake's 2013 bop "Started from the Bottom" begins to play, symbolizing how far this ragtag group of foster kids have come on their journey to superhero-dom with their chosen family. Just before the dragon starts shooting fireballs at Market Street beneath it, we see a Catrito's pretzel truck. This is a play on Tasty Cake, a line of snack foods manufactured in Philly that share the same font. Behind it, a tribute to the godfather of gore, horror director Lucio Fulci, is displayed on a marquee that reads Fulci. Billy warns the rest of the Shazamily that the daughters of Atlas are coming to hunt him down, and Hespera explains a moment later that she, Kalypso, and Anthea are pretty upset by a bunch of children stealing powers from the gods. From her jail cell, she claims that they ripped it from their father's core, which very apparently had negative consequences for her and her sisters. In this roof scene, Hespera pulls Freddy towards her like she's summoning the Force, and a couple frames later, we see that her formerly monochrome black apple is shedding its skin, revealing its golden hue underneath. Interestingly, it turns out that Kalypso and Hespera have the power to rob the Shazamily of their powers by shooting blue lightning at them from the end of the staff. Here, we see Freddy return to his child self after being struck by the blast, and later on in the trailer, Mary is zapped mid-air, removing her powers and causing her to fall from the sky. Luckily, Shazam catches her, but unfortunately, it looks like she drops the golden apple she must have stolen from the daughters. Towards the end of the trailer, we also see Mary, Eugene, and Darla sitting in the grass in their normal bodies, and I think that they might be powered down in this scene too. As I mentioned in my last trailer breakdown, the Shazamily has a pretty cool t-shirt collection. Freddy has a Batman and Robin shirt with an actual bat and an actual Robin printed on it. Billy's wearing a Goonies shirt, Eugene has on an Iconoclast Robin shirt, and Freddy is seen later in the trailer wearing a White Tree of Gondor shirt. Back to the action. The wizard warns the Shazamily that our world won't survive what the daughters have coming for us. Kalypso's dragon fires blue flame breath, and once again, 77-year-old Helen Mirren kicks Shazam's ass. But don't worry, despite the citywide destruction, we see that Billy does get a hold of the staff at some point during their battle. Based on the small amount of singeing to his shirt, I'd say that this takes place towards the beginning of Billy's fight with the dragon. As Kalypso rides her dragon through the cityscape, Billy calls her Khaleesi, referencing Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones. He hurls himself directly at the dragon's torso, sending it flying through an entire building. Okay, the last time Zod and Superman flew through a building, Ben Affleck got really upset. Isn't this the exact scenario that caused Dawn of Marthas?
Martha!
Billy's gonna be so grounded when the Justice League finds out. Do you get really excited to watch a new show or movie only to find that it's not available in your country? RRR made me more curious about what's going on in Bollywood, but most of that stuff isn't available in the US unless you're using NordVPN. With NordVPN, I can switch my virtual location on my device with one click, letting me access streaming services from over 60 countries at no extra cost. This opens up a smorgasbord of stuff to watch that I wouldn't normally be able to without NordVPN. NordVPN is also the fastest VPN out there, so you won't have to sacrifice speed for the sake of your shows. It's what we use at the new Rockstars offices, and let me tell you, it is fast. For the price of 1 cup of coffee a month, I get to have premium cybersecurity on 6 devices and gain access to streaming services from over 60 countries at no extra cost. It's also available on every platform. To grab your exclusive NordVPN deal, go to NordVPN/NewRockstars to get a huge discount off your NordVPN plan, plus a bonus gift. NordVPN has a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can try NordVPN completely risk-free. Just click the link in the description to get started. Next, we see Anthea performing the same spell as in the last trailer. She's holding her hands straight out in front of her, where you can see a Venn diagram-esque symbol glowing on her open palms. A frame later, we see Anthea dressed in a yellow cape and metal bangles, going head-to-head with Kalypso. She's holding her arms in the same position, and either Kalypso shoots her backwards, or her magic propels her away from that scary-ass dragon. Now, here's my question. What is going on with all of these moving buildings and other structures? Do we have some kind of multiverse of madness situation on our hands? Are they somehow battling in an alternate plane of reality? Or are the daughters somehow physically warping our world beyond just the dragon's destruction? Is the golden apple causing this? Surely blowing up a stadium with roots can't be this MacGuffin's only use. Is the apple what's causing reality to break apart like this? Moments later, the daughters kidnap Freddy on what looks like a floating piece of debris, levitating him high above the city. Although Shazam and the others try to go after him, the daughters seal Philadelphia, or possibly even the whole planet, in a giant bubble that prevents you from exiting the atmosphere. I'm more inclined to believe that this dome only surrounds Philly, however, due to the shot where we see the bridge bisected by it. I'm personally thinking of it kind of like Wanda's Hex, which only surrounded the perimeter of Westview. Billy begs the wizard to take his powers back, hoping to put an end to the destruction. But the wizard reminds him that it took him like forever to find a new champion, and that Billy knows what he has to do. I think that this is a hint that Billy might die at some point during the movie. If he can't give his powers away by having the wizard transfer them to Hespera and Kalypso, he might have to sacrifice his life to save his family and the rest of the world. I think that's what he's doing when he shows up at the stadium for a night fight with Kalypso and her dragon. Check out his suit when he first arrives. Only part of it is burnt. A few frames later in the trailer, we see his suit almost completely charred, likely towards the end of their fight. Even though I suspect that he might lose, he does get in a sweet, sweet uppercut to that dragon's jaw. Then we see a close-up of the structure I think is Mount Olympus, flanked with 2 statues of warriors out front and 3 smaller statues in the back. While I'm not sure exactly who these warriors might be from this quick little clip, because there are hundreds of possible candidates from Greek mythology, I'm pretty certain that the statues in the back represent the 3 daughters of Atlas: Hespera, Kalypso, and Anthea. Lastly, we gotta talk about those mythical creatures. We don't just have dragons and gods here, folks. We've got manticores, minotaurs, and black unicorns. Although, I think the unicorns are more tame than the manticores and minotaurs. While the kids ride these majestic mythic horses through the city, the other creatures are terrorizing civilians. Personally, I'm placing all my bets on the manticore. He's gonna be the real star of Shazam too. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Whitney Puppy, follow New Rockstars, subscribe to New Rockstars for more analysis of everything you love, and thanks for watching. Bye!